Hey gang, Troy Dean here, and welcome to a fabulous Thursday. Yes, that's right, I'm in the future. I'm in Australia here, and it is Thursday, the 26th of March, 2020, and I'm coming to you live from my home studio. We've had a very quick pivot here, and we've all gone home, taken our equipment and gone home, and we're all working remotely. Now, if you are watching this, I'd love you to leave me a comment because I just a little bit of transparency here. I'm using Restream to stream this out to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So if you leave a comment, I won't actually be able to bring your comment up on the screen. Unfortunately, that is a restriction of using Restream. But I wanted to get this message out to as many people as possible. So I've decided to go live on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. And I will try and see if I can monitor the comments on YouTube. I'll be completely honest, I haven't actually done that before. Ben usually does this, and he moved house yesterday, so it's all we're just kind of adapting and innovating as quickly as we possibly can. So let me just pull up my browser here and just see if I can find out if I can see the comments on YouTube, because remarkably, what I didn't realize is that there is a whole community over on YouTube who are really engaged. And when we live stream on YouTube, we actually get a lot of comments, and that's, I wasn't expecting that. That was not something that I just thought. All the engagement was on Facebook. I didn't think people would leave comments on YouTube and engage with our YouTube live, but they do. So there you go. How's that sunlight coming in the window there? It's just amazing, isn't it? That is just, this is my home office is right next to a window here. I can't do much about that sun coming in there, sorry. It's blowing out a little bit, but it's a beautiful day here in Melbourne. So why are we here? Well, we're talking about COVID-19 and a crisis plan that we are putting together for digital agencies and freelancers. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail now, except to tell you that tomorrow morning, which is Friday in Australia, at 9 a.m. our time, which is, I don't know, figure it out. It's about 1 or 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon in Los Angeles, wherever you are around the world, figure out the time zone. It's 9 a.m. Sydney time, Friday morning, March 27. We will be live on Facebook. I'm not sure about YouTube at this stage. We'll be live on Facebook. And we'll be presenting a live training workshop for digital agencies and freelancers called The Path Forward, the COVID-19 Crisis Management Plan. And so what I want to do on this live right now is just give you a little bit of a preview of what's coming up tomorrow, and also give you a link that you can go to make sure that you get notified. Let me just find that link now, and let me just find that link now for you, and I'll make sure that I drop it in the comments underneath this. It should be in the YouTube description already. I'm just going to drop it in the comments here. I'm not even exactly sure how to do that. Here we go. I'm just going to leave it in the comment here on the Facebook Live. Get notified here. There we go. And so if you go there, the live is already scheduled, and you'll be able to click the button that says get notified, and then you get notified when we go live tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. So I want to give you a little bit of a heads up on what we are talking about tomorrow. We will be talking about how to, really there are kind of 5 ways people are reacting to COVID. And I think I've been through all 5 reactions, all 5 responses in the last week. Everything from panic to optimism. But what we're really talking about is a mindset piece tomorrow morning on how you can take control of your own situation during these very uncertain times, because there is so much out of our control during these uncertain times. What we want to do is encourage you to take control of what you can control. And we'll talk more about that tomorrow morning. And then there are really 3 pieces to this. There are 3 kind of things that we're thinking through and that we're helping our members and our students with. One is how to lead your clients through this crisis. Clients need you now more than ever. People need you to show up, and they need you to help and offer advice and add value. So how do you lead your team? How do you lead your clients? How do you lead your community and your tribe and your ecosystem? That is, your suppliers, your team, your contractors, your clients. How do you lead them through this crisis? The second part of it is, how do you survive? How do you just keep how do you keep your business surviving for the next 3, 6, 9, 12 months? No one knows how long this is going to last. It feels like we've all woken up into a bad dream, but no one knows how long it's going to last. So how do you keep the business going for the next, as I said, 3, 6, 9, 12 months? And how do you survive? We'll talk about some practical things you can do there around cash flow and financial management. And then the third piece of this really is, how do you set yourself up to thrive once we come out the other side of coronavirus, which we will. We'll all get through this. Life will be different. There's no doubt about that. And it's been a massive shock to the system. And I think people are, spinning. They're still in shock at how quickly this has happened. And I think there'll be a lot of trauma as a result of this. And I think it's going to take us a long time to get over this and get back to normal. But what can you do now over the next period of time to make sure that when you come out the other side of this, your business is in really good shape and you are poised to make the most of that opportunity? And that's what I want to talk about on the call tomorrow morning. My good friend Simon Kelly is going to be joining me on the call, I do believe. And I think in the interest of engagement, I think we're just going to, if we can't figure out how to get the comments working, then I'm just going to do it on Facebook and we'll put the recording up on YouTube. If we just go live on Facebook, I can grab your comments, I can bring your comments up on the screen and we can make it really interactive because I want to hear from you guys. It's not all about me and Simon just flapping our gums and telling you our thoughts. I want to hear from you guys as much as possible. And so I'm going to try and bring your comments up on the screen. And that means we'll probably just do it on Facebook and instead of trying to restream it out to YouTube as well. And YouTube has definitely had some challenges over the last week or so as people are live streaming a lot. YouTube, the API, has definitely had some challenges and people have been cut off halfway through. So, hey, just want to give a big shout out to Lockie Harriman, my cousin who's watching here. Hey, Lachlan, hope you're doing well, dude. Ben Giles is also watching. Pete Everett is watching. Monte Cristo, my good friend from Adelaide. Hey, buddy, how are you? Love to catch up soon, mate. Rich Dean says, hey, Troy. Hey, Rich, how you doing? And Richie Zangoski is also here. Awesome. Thanks for tuning in. Rick Webb Studio is here. Jamie Hill is watching. Jen Sikowski's joined in. Hey, Jen, how you doing? Hope you're well. Carl Godfrey, my good friend. How are you, man? Good to see you joining in. And Patrick O'Doherty. So just for those of you who have just joined in, what we're talking about here is I'm just giving you guys a little bit of a preview of what's coming up on tomorrow's live stream. And what do you know? Over on YouTube, Chaz Day is tuned in. He said he's watching on YouTube from Austin, Texas. And my good friend and WP Elevation coach, Christina Hawkins, is here on YouTube and says, thanks for the guidance. So tomorrow, just for those of you who have just tuned in, tomorrow we are presenting a live workshop at 9 a.m. Melbourne time. Please go to Time Buddy or World Time Clock or whatever time converter you use and figure out what time zone that is for you. It'll be Thursday afternoon for the Americans. It'll be late Thursday night for our UK and European friends. 9 a.m. Friday morning, Melbourne, Sydney time, Australian Eastern time. We'll be going live on Facebook for a free training workshop called The Path Forward. It is a COVID-19 crisis management plan for digital agencies and freelancers. The three things we're going to be talking about really is the typical response that people are having to, I've got a shiny forehead, haven't I? The typical response that people are having to coronavirus and how those responses are playing out, everywhere from panic to being in charge and taking control, where you sit on that spectrum and how you can get out of panic and denial mode and how you can get into taking control. We're also going to be talking about the three things that you really need to be focusing on at the moment, which is offering leadership to your team, to your customers, to your clients, to your suppliers, to your, everyone in your ecosystem, other contractors and freelancers that you're working with. And so how do you lead your tribe through this crisis? Clients need you now more than ever. So how can we lead our clients through this crisis and offer some leadership? They'll remember you for years to come. if you just offer them some leadership now and add value. Second of all, how do you survive? How do you keep the business surviving? We're going to talk about cash flow and some financial management. And we're going to be talking about how to make sure that you just steady the ship and get through the next 3, 6, 9, 12 months. And then finally, we're going to be talking about how to thrive, how to set yourself, what you can be doing now to set your business up to make the most of the opportunity once we come out the other side of coronavirus, which we will. Hey, Trisha Pye has joined. Brennan Dunn is watching. Hey, Brennan Dunn, my good friend. How are you, buddy? John Mather has joined in. Caroline Charami is watching. I hope I said your name right there, Caroline. Torkild Smith is also watching. Hey, guys, leave me a comment. Tell me, what is your current state of mind around the COVID-19 coronavirus? What is your current state of mind? How are you feeling at the moment about coronavirus? Dave Foy says, go Troy, this is essential stuff we all need to hear right now. Yeah, absolutely. Neil Mola has joined. Hey, Neil. Brendan Ruan has joined. Hey, Brendan. What is your state of mind at the moment about coronavirus? How are you feeling about it? How's it affecting you on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is panic and 10 is you feel like you're in control and staying calm? Where do you sit? Somewhere between panic and calm? Where are you on a scale of 1 to 10? Just let me know in the comments. I'd love to know where you guys are at and how you're feeling, how you're coping, what it is you're doing in your business to get through this very, very uncertain time. I'm just going to duck back over to YouTube here. Cool. Yeah, we've got some people watching on YouTube and lots of people watching on Facebook, which is awesome. Thank you guys for joining in. Andrew Island is also watching. Brendan Ruan is watching. I hope I said your name right there, Brendan. Carol Stambor is watching. Hey, Carol. Carol's one of the organisers of WordCamp Phoenix. I was out there a couple of months ago, and wow, doesn't that feel like years ago, Carol? That just feels like, man, it feels like so long ago that we were hanging out at WordCamp Phoenix. That's like how the world has changed so dramatically between then and now. And that was what, mid-Feb? That was like February 7, February 8, 5, 6 weeks ago. The world has changed so dramatically since then. Monte Cristo says, to be honest, it's fluctuating, no panic, but huge opportunity. Yeah, absolutely. Beth Livingston said, the internet has now become essential for more businesses, which means opportunity. Absolutely, Beth. Couldn't agree with you more. Rich Dean said he's a 12 out of, so if 1 is panic and 10 is calm, Rich Dean is a 12 and then says, just kidding, I'm an 8. Kerry Baker says, I'm calm. Awesome, Kerry. And I know that man. I've hung out with him in real life, and that does not surprise me that you are calm right now. Well done. Patrick O'Doherty says, I'm a negative 23. Yeah, dude, have you got an indoor tennis court happening or a tennis simulator? Patrick's a mad tennis player, very keen tennis player. And obviously right now, dude, going to the tennis club's probably not on the cards. Esther Anderson from Western Australia says, hey, Troy, flat out with work, teaching clients how to do virtual training, virtual workshops, etc. Absolutely. Kylie Martin from South Australia, my hometown, really needs some guidance. My current state of mind is retreating, homeschooling my kids. Yeah, so we're going to talk a lot about that tomorrow, Kylie. Retreating is a normal, natural thing to do. We're about to have a baby. My wife literally is going to have a baby in the next couple of weeks, which really means it could happen any time from now. We've just moved into a new house, and we are definitely nesting. We've taken Oscar out of daycare. We're keeping him home, and we're just nesting. We're so lucky that we found this place before. We literally moved in on Friday the 13th as everything was just changing dramatically. I was driving from the old place to the new place, and I was listening to the world change on news radio as I was making the trip back and forth from our old place to the new place. It's just unbelievable. It's happened so quickly. Yeah, Carol says, it's amazing how quickly I go from panic to measured and purposeful action, then back to panic. Yeah, right on. It's not like it's every hour, isn't it? Yeah. So here's one tip. Here's one tip I'll give you that's really helped me. Well, here's a few actually, but and we'll talk more about this on tomorrow's call. But you have to be aware of the news. You have to scan the headlines, which is all I'm doing right now. Is I'm scanning the headlines, but I'm really, really trying to limit the amount of time I spend consuming the news, because it will just send you down a deep, deep, dark rabbit hole. So just limit your consumption of news. You have to be across the headlines, of course. I try not to spend any more than 10 or 15 minutes a day at the moment listening to the news or the catastrophe that's on social media, because if you just get sucked into that mindset, you'll end up in a very dark place very quickly. So that's one practical tip that's really helped me. And also talking to people, reaching out to people. I've spoken to Simon Kelly, who's coach here at WP Elevation and in Mavericks Club, and also just become a really good friend of mine over the last couple of years. And I've rang him a couple of times in the last week and said, dude, you got to talk me back from the ledge, man. This is just like, it's like when I heard that New York had shut all restaurants and cafes and gyms, it really hit me hard, you know. And I've been to Manhattan a few times, and when that shut down, I just was like, wow, shit just got real. Okay. And that really sent me into a spin, and we're gradually shutting down here in Australia. You know, most non-essential businesses are closing, have been told to close. Gyms, restaurants, cafes are only doing takeaway. Who was I responding to there? Carol. Yeah, it's really common and normal to go from feeling like, okay, like I kind of had this, I had this hashtag. I don't know, can I swear on Facebook? I had this hashtag in my head, fuck the virus. And I was going to start this hashtag. And really that movement is all about staying positive and going, you know what, I'm not going to let this thing dominate my news feed and dominate my my mindset all day. Like, I'm just not going to let that happen. I've got a life to live. I've got mouths to feed. I've got a family to support. I've got a team to support. I've got, you know, clients to serve. And fuck the virus. I'm not going to let it get into my head. Literally. So if someone can run with that hashtag, that'd be great. David Tower says, ditto, Carol, you're not alone on that one. Yeah, reclaim the feed. What a great hashtag, Beth Livingston. And hey, Jane Short has joined in. Hello, Jane. How are you, my friend? I knew you and you were Jane Pullen. We went to school together, Jane and I. We went to primary school together. I've known Jane for a very, very, very long time. In fact, I think it's okay to admit this, isn't it, Jane? I think Jane was my first ever girlfriend. I think Jane was the first girl that I actually felt like I was going out with, and this was like in year 6 or year 7 or something. Anyway, great to see you here. I hope you're coping all right. I hope you and your family are doing really well, and thanks for tuning in. And say hi to your mum. Rich, you get takeaway. Wow, you're so lucky. We're total lockdown in New Zealand. Yeah, I heard that. Well, yeah, I think it's only a matter of time here, dude. Really, I think it's only a matter of time. Uber Eats are now just dropping food on the door and sending you a text. Yep, your food's there. They drive right off. You come out and get it. Jen Miller has joined in. Jonathan Holborn has also joined in. Hey, Jonathan, how are you, buddy? Glad to see you here, man. I hope you're well. I hope you're coping. I hope you're keeping your mindset in a good place. A couple of other things that are really helping me with mindset is being grateful, just practicing some gratitude and being grateful. One of the great things at the moment about working from home and having Oscar out of daycare is I get to spend so much time with him. And usually he's in daycare 3 days a week. I'm at the office. You know, my wife is very pregnant at the moment, so she's just been resting and relaxing. And I see, you know, there are 3 days a week where I see Oscar maybe early in the morning if he wakes up in time. I'm usually gone pretty early. And then I might see him for an hour at night before he goes to bed. So now I'll get off this call. I've got another call at 11 o'clock with a coaching client. I'll get off this call. I'll go and hang out with Oscar for 10 or 15 minutes, play out in the backyard, have some fun with him. So I'm really grateful for the time now that I've got to spend with my family. There are things about this that are really driving me crazy. Like, we're about to have a baby. We're not going to be able to have a lot of people over to visit the baby, which is one of the beautiful things about having a newborn, is that, you know, your family come and they spend time, and your friends come over and, you know, marvel at how cute your baby is. And when Oscar was first born, you know, he was a couple of weeks old, and we started taking him out to cafes, and he's basically grown up in cafes. Like, he spent so much time in cafes. We're just not going to be able to do that with our newborn for a period of time. You know, we were having dinner last night, and Oscar's 2 and 8 months now, and he was saying yesterday that he misses his friends from daycare. He's only not been there one day, right? We only took him out yesterday, so it's only been one day. But he said, "Oh, I miss my friends from daycare," and it breaks my heart. He probably doesn't even really know what he's saying, but I already thought I'm going to reach out to the daycare center and get in contact with the other parents and see if we can do some Zoom calls, because he's right across this. Like, we FaceTime with my parents in Adelaide all the time, so he understands looking at people through screens, and I think it'd be good for him to still see his friends occasionally, even if it is just on Zoom. So yeah, there are things about this situation that if I let myself think about them and I ruminate on that too long, it can get quite overwhelming, and you can end up, you know, in a pretty depressed state. So just being grateful for what I do have. We're amazingly lucky that we have this, you know, beautiful home to live in, and we've got food, and we've got, you know, shelter, And I've got so many great connections and friends online, and this is why I'm spending more time online now, reaching out, connecting with people. So we've got a lot to be grateful for. So good food, try and do some exercise at home if you can, stay connected with people, stay connected with your family, and try and give as much as you can to other people who might need your help. Monte Cristo, my friend who's on the in the chat here, he's got an elderly neighbor, so he just put some toilet paper on her front porch and went, there you go, I know you're probably going to struggle to get out and get some, so I've got some spare toilet paper, here it is. Helping your fellow humans is going to make you feel really good about your contribution, so that's another thing you can do. And yeah, group friend calls on Zoom. Just grab a bunch of friends and get on Zoom and have a virtual beer with each other on a Friday afternoon and say good day. It is very challenging times. Just now got the great news that my mum is cancer-free and no further treatment is needed. Very grateful. Jen Miller, that's great news. Well done. Thanks for sharing. That's awesome. That's excellent. All right, so just to recap, I've got to jump off here in a minute. But just to recap, tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock Sydney time, Australian Eastern Standard Time, so that's Thursday afternoon for the Americans and late Thursday night for the UK and European friends, we are running a free training workshop live on Facebook called The Path Forward. It is a COVID-19 crisis management workshop for digital agencies and freelancers. If you know any freelancers or digital agencies who work in the web design, web development, digital marketing, digital agency space, or any graphic designers or branding freelancers or marketing freelancers and agencies, let them know. Share this with them. The link is in the comments here. Go to that link, get notified, click on the get notified button, and we'll notify you tomorrow morning when Simon Kelly and I are live. And we're going to be covering how to get out of panic and get into taking control. That's the kind of different spectrum of the mindset. And then once we get you thinking, about taking control of what you can control, then the three things that we think you really should be kind of focusing on over the coming months is leading your people, so your team, how to lead your team, your clients, your suppliers through this crisis and how to add value, how to survive, how to keep your business open and surviving for the next period of time, however long this is going to take, and some practical things you can do there around financial management and cash flow, and then how to set your business up so that you can thrive once we come out of coronavirus. There's going to be a huge opportunity for the businesses who are set up to make the most of it. So what can you do over the coming months to make sure you can make the most of that opportunity once we come out the other side, which we will. So tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, go to the Facebook link now on the WP Elevation Facebook page. Click the get notified button. I'll be here tomorrow morning with my friend Simon Kelly at 9 o'clock Australian time. And I really look forward to seeing you all then. I'm going to try and get as many of your comments up on the screen as possible tomorrow. So we're probably not going to go out to YouTube. We'll just do it here on Facebook. And by the way, there we go. Chaz Day said, my team and I are in control of the things we can control. Probably a hard 7 right now, but definitely in need of wisdom to maximize the moment. Cool. Chaz Day is commenting over there on YouTube. So Chaz, thanks for that. And also, I'll try and close these blinds a little bit more tomorrow morning so we don't get blown out with that beautiful sun coming in. And Beth said, I played Trivial Pursuit last night with friends over Zoom. My wife did yoga last night over Zoom, and the choir that she sings in actually met up on Zoom last night and sang together. So it's awesome. All right. Love you all. Have a great day wherever you are, and we'll see you tomorrow morning, and keep in touch with each other and your family. And I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Have a great day for now. Bye.